much. I'm loving the energy in this room. And I'm also loving how you guys give yourself quizzes afterwards. It's great, keep it up. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, oh, wonderful. Our distinguished faculty, hopefully you're here. Industry leaders, fellow professionals, and most importantly, you students and future actuaries that are here sitting with us. It's a privilege to be here at Actuarial Intelligence Summit. I understand the theme for this year's summit is quantifying uncertainty, the actuary's role in modern economics. Now I think that's an excellent choice because uncertainty is no longer something we occasionally encounter. It has become one of the defining characteristics of the world we live in. My assigned topic today is Engineering Economic Resilience, the strategic role of actuaries in risk and financial stability. Now, I didn't choose that topic myself. It was assigned to me. But the more I reflect on it, the more I realize that it sits at the very heart of our profession. When I was growing up in Botswana, I met one of only 2 actuaries in the country at that time. I was so excited to learn more about the profession and what actuaries really did. But he spent most of the meeting explaining how difficult the exams were and why I should probably choose a different career. So of course, me being me, I left that meeting thinking, well, now I have to become one. Like many actuarial students, I initially thought the profession was primarily about mathematics, statistics, and passing exams. And those things are certainly important, but over the years, I've come to realize something much more important. That mathematics is not the destination, it's just the tool. The destination is better decisions. The real purpose of actuarial science is helping people, organizations, and societies make better decisions in the face of uncertainty. And in a world that seems increasingly uncertain, that purpose has never been more important than it is today. This morning, I'd like to share 3 ideas with you in line with the strategic role of actuaries in risk and financial resilience. First, why economic resilience matters. Second, why actuaries are uniquely positioned to help build resilience. And third, why Africa needs more actuaries than ever before. We live in an era of extraordinary change. Over the last decade alone, we've witnessed global pandemics, economic crises, major political tensions, climate-related disasters, significant cyber attacks, inflation shocks, supply chain disruptions, and rapid technological transformation. That was a mouthful. And not only that, the pace of change is accelerating. I look at my nieces and nephews, and I think how they've been through more shocks in their lifetimes than I had been when I was even 2 or 3 times their age. The interconnectedness of risk is increasing. Events occurring thousands of kilometers away can have significant consequences for businesses, governments, and households here in Africa. I'm sure we all know the shock of the change in the price of petrol at the beginning of March, just due to the US-Iran conflict, which is thousands of kilometers away. As a result, the consequences of poor decision-making and poor preparation are becoming more severe. The questions facing organizations today is not whether shocks will occur, they will. The question is whether we are prepared for them. Can we absorb them? Can we recover from them? Can we continue to serve our customers, protect our stakeholders, and support economic growth despite them? This is what resilience means. Economic resilience is the ability of individuals businesses, governments, and financial systems to withstand shocks, adapt to changing conditions, and continue functioning effectively. When I think about resilience, I often think about Nigeria. Few countries demonstrate the resilience of ordinary people better than Nigeria. People adapt, people innovate, they keep moving forward despite economic and social challenges. You know, when I think of resilience in Nigeria, I think of a friend of mine, Yvonne, who, when she's faced with a setback or faced with an obstacle, well, the first thing we do is laugh because there's nothing else we can do. But then she comes up with a strategy, dusts off her shoulders and just says, we move. The next challenge is ensuring that that same we move resilience is embedded within our institutions, financial systems, and economic structures. Because resilience should not depend solely on the strength of individuals. It should be built into the systems that support society. So when I think about engineers, we often think about bridges, roads, and power stations. This is all physical infrastructure. But economies also depend on another form of infrastructure. It's an invisible infrastructure, an infrastructure built on financial strength. No one is giving you money to invest if they don't trust that you will make a return. If they're questioning if their capital will stay intact, or asking if they'll even be able to access that capital when they want to. They will give it only if they have confidence that it will be coming back to them with interest. Trust is the foundation of every financial system. People only invest, save, insure, and build businesses when they have confidence that the system will function when they need it most. This is where actuaries come in. In many ways, actuaries are resilience engineers. Our job is not only to measure risk, our job is to help create systems that can withstand uncertainty and continue functioning when shocks occur. It is something less tangible than regular engineers because for them, you can see their physical product. But as actuaries, we need to prove our value by showing people that this preparedness, this resilience that we support, brings a positive impact. Now let's discuss how actuaries build economic resilience. When most people hear the word actuary, the first thing they think of, naturally, is insurance. And to be fair, that is where many of us start our careers. And insurance remains one of the most important applications of actuarial science. But one of the things I've come to appreciate most about this profession is how far beyond insurance it reaches. Actuaries can indeed be found in insurance companies, reinsurers, like myself, consulting firms and regulators, helping organizations understand risk, manage capital, and make strategic decisions. But what is particularly interesting is that when actuaries learn to apply their skills beyond their technical work, they often rise into leadership positions very quickly. We see many examples of this right here in Nigeria, with actuaries becoming chief risk officers. There's one here. Chief financial officers, and even chief executive officers fairly quickly in their careers. Just like Jala. And congratulations. He recently became the CEO as well. Beyond insurance, actuaries have expanded formally into banking and investments. In South Africa, they have even developed a banking specialization for actuaries some years ago. So we see actuaries in healthcare, technology, and data analytics. In fact, there's an actuary right here in Lagos creating a state-of-the-art medical facility as we speak. I'm not sure you know that, but it's true. And if you look internationally, the examples become even broader. Some may know that Frank Chang, a former president of the CAS, leads global analytics at Uber, which is a company that I'm sure you all know. Others work in loyalty programs, influencing public policy, and even sports analytics to help professional sports teams make player decisions. And I'm sure there's some of that going on right now in the World Cup, for those of you that are monitoring it. These careers are all built on the same foundation, which is helping organizations make better decisions under uncertainty. That is what actuaries are trained to do. We are trained to take incomplete information, quantify uncertainty, evaluate possible outcomes, and support decisions that improve long-term results. And when organizations make better decisions, they become more resilient. In my view, actuaries contribute to economic resilience in 4 ways. Through strengthening financial stability, through enabling risk-informed decision-making, and through supporting recovery and growth. And through helping organizations and societies think long-term, not short-term. Let's look at each of these in turn. So first, financial stability. Financial stability is one of the foundations of a functioning economy. People buy insurance, save for retirement, and invest capital because they trust financial institutions will honor their promise. We touched on this a bit earlier. Now, I know that we're not there yet in Nigeria, but with experienced actuaries assisting to design the right products for the market and giving regulators enough confidence that true rate pricing can be used, I believe we can improve in that area. Actuaries applying themselves effectively play a crucial role in protecting that trust. In my role today, I spend much of my time thinking about what could threaten the resilience of organizations and economies across Africa. One thing I've learned from working across African markets is that risks are never exactly the same. The countries differ, the economies differ, the exposures differ. But the lessons in resilience is always the same. Sorry, my technology has failed me. This is why Ian printed out his notes.